Here we are, guys, in Raleigh at the Small Business Branding and Breakfast. And what a great turnout. I bet we had almost 100 small businesses, business leaders in here to hear the message today about how to build their brand, how to compete, how to stand out, and really to learn how the ad portal can help with that. So, Gerry, I know they seemed really engaged with your conversation about how to tell about them being different. I mean, anything stand out as you worked with the crowd?
One thing, business owners today are in a crowded market, and they're all trying to figure out how do they stand out in the sea of sameness. There's all sorts of new businesses coming in. The economy's good. Everyone thinks they're going to be a business owner, established businesses, new businesses. Everyone is trying to find their own way to get the small number of customers that are out there. And I think that's why you saw good attendance today, that the smart business owners are looking for any new way that they can stand out and attract customers to their business. So there's a lot of desire and demand for what do I do today versus what I did yesterday to be more successful.
Sure, it's a competitive world. You could feel their passion about their business and what they needed to do. Now, Tim, I thought the portal, the ability to be on TV, really resonated with this group. Did you hear that as you were talking with these business owners?
It was interesting to hear the questions about how this actually works, because the ability to be on TV through a portal like this just has never existed before. There are a lot of questions about what's the schedule look like, what are the networks. A lot of people were very surprised and excited about what they could get for the same amount of money that it would take to get on social media, get on Facebook. And it was just really cool to see eyes light up and to see people connect the dots of, wow, I can make this happen and I can be on TV, and try to get them over the hurdle and just explain some of the basics as to how they get set up and how they build their schedule, and then see their brand grow as a result.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, the TV, the chance to be on TV for the same cost as other media is still alive. And to me, it dispelled that myth of nobody watches TV, nobody's there. I think they were very clear that if I had the option in an affordable way to put my business there, that is how I can really stand out.
I talked to one business owner at the end who came to me and she said, well, I sell financial services, essentially short-term loans, things like that, to business owners. Is TV the right thing for me? So I asked her, I said, well, how are you getting your business now? Well, we're trying to go into businesses. I'm trying to meet people one-on-one. Do you know what business owners don't want to talk about with you one-on-one is whether they need a short-term loan. They don't want you walking into their business and bugging them about their financials. So what if you were able to go out and reach a few thousand, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people right around your area where you're doing it, and they start calling you. They've self-selected. You only need a few of them, because right now you're going in and you're being pushed away because people don't want to talk to you. What if you turn it around and come back and she's like, you're right, I just need a few of the right people to make that phone call to me. And she got really excited about the opportunity to put the word out with her message and kind of turn the tables on knocking on doors.
No, sure. Driving awareness, it leads to an action, right? And the best customers are the customers that call you.
That already know I actually have the problem that you're solving.
Right.
Yeah, she was excited about that.
Yeah. Now I know, Gerry, you gave some examples from your past, right? I mean, were there any that you got a lot of questions about following the presentation?
People want to figure out, what should I say? If I'm going to be on TV, if I'm going to spend the money, how do I actually get the people coming to my business, calling me? And the mistake that a lot of business owners make, and this is what they came up, and the questions were about a concept that I teach called what's your because. When someone, let's say, gives a referral for your business, they literally say, oh, you got to go down to Caswell's Auto Repair because. And then they fill in a compelling reason of what makes Caswell's Auto Repair different than the other 10 auto repair places. Sure. And there was a lot of questions about how do I create that thing that's unique and special and specific about my business and how I do it, and then how do I put that into the ad? Because if you say the same thing everyone else says, you still haven't helped me pick your auto repair or your landscape company. A lot of questions about how do I create that specific message so when they do put the ad on TV, it actually produces results. Because that's the big desire. I actually want the customers coming in. And if it sounds the same, it doesn't drive the results. And if you give me that powerful because, that's when the phone starts to ring.
Yeah, that's true. That's super advice. And it seems like that would lead perfectly into the conversation with Colonel, for the higher end spots and the businesses that really have more deep needs about a strong message, but also about the portal and how it can help a small business create their first commercial. So did you talk a lot with businesses today about how to get started on both those paths?
We talk about storytelling in general, and whether it's going through the portal or using our team Colonel, it's about the brand being authentic, making sure that they do have their story come across in a way that's engaging. It's got to resonate. It's got to be memorable. I love the angle of what's your because. I think that helps frame it up really well in a place that they can digest that and then make it actionable. But the questions ranged all over the place from what does good look like? What do you get out of the tool? Up to advanced questions about just brand building in general and what we can get out of the Colonel team. So it was interesting to see that there was a lot of enthusiasm again about just simply being on TV and making the most of whether it's the tool or the Colonel brand. And at the end of the day, having the business owner realize that it is just about telling their brand story in an engaging way. Tell them the because, make it memorable, make it resonate, and then TV does the rest of the work for them.
Yeah, I do think that one of the things that really seemed to resonate is the idea of zone local cable. All these national advertisers, they have to spend so much money to get recognized, to get that brand awareness, to get people interested, to even get launched. And so these new business owners, they think that that's what they have to do. What they don't understand, and what I think they learned today, is that they can do it right around their business, right in their neighborhoods. They're part of it. They're part of growing. Spectrum Reach is part of that. We live here. We want to see businesses grow and reach out. Tim, that reminds me of a great video I saw of yours during Small Business Week, where you were walking around your hometown of Brooklyn and interacting with businesses. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that idea came to you?
Sure. In New York, as I kind of say in the video, it's a huge city. Some would argue the greatest city in the world, but it's really a collection of neighborhoods. Just like basically any American city, it's just a whole bunch of little areas bumped up against each other. And what usually makes these communities what they are is the people and the businesses within them. And the opportunity to help them grow on a day in and day out basis is genuinely what gets me out of bed every single morning. And the ability to connect those dots to drive the connection between the pizza place that my daughter, developed her love for pizza at, and where's that reliable dry cleaner that we go to when we know we got a stain on our suit and we need it back in a couple days because we're about to hit the road for some travel. And what they mean to the community, what they mean to us as consumers, and then how we can translate that into our day in and day out, and how our tools like the ad portal can help them grow. Connecting those dots, telling that story is something I'm passionate about. My wife is a small business owner, so this all kind of hits home on a consistent basis, no pun intended. And even here in Raleigh, it's been a lot of fun traveling back and forth on a pretty consistent basis over the past couple of months. I try to stay downtown where I can, so I can walk around to the small businesses and see what the local sushi joint is like, and walk in and have a conversation with the local beer store. And when you have that kind of those connection points like we did today, it makes everything that we're doing feel that much more real, and it's also it's something that the company should be very proud of, because these are people that are really hardworking, that have businesses that they want to grow, they want the right solutions, they want the right tools, and the fact that we have something developed now that can actually bring that home, so that they can be the biggest business in their area. That's probably the coolest aspect of the ad portal, and whether it's at home in Brooklyn or here in Raleigh, you see it, especially when you just walk the streets and you talk to the owner. So that's why today was such a special opportunity to meet so many people in one room and give them so much to digest, and to be able to go home and now be in the tool, have their credentials, and see where it can take them.
Yeah. Well, and Gerry, I don't know if you've seen the video, super video. He doesn't just talk to them. He gives them a high five.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, Tim, that reminds me of something that I got to talk about in my presentation today. One of the big things for smaller business owners today who sell real things to real people, things like landscaping, auto repair, dry cleaner, local businesses, is if I'm trying to choose somebody and I don't know which one I should choose, I'm trying to establish, who do I trust? Which landscape person is going to show up and do what they say and give me the right price? One of the big benefits of TV still today is that if I've seen you there, you must be a legitimate, trustworthy business, because you've taken the time to put out a message to a broad group of people around your area. So now when I see you locally, I've seen you on TV, I connect all the dots and I go, oh, they must be a trustworthy business. That's not just someone who I just saw, you know, on some ad online. I don't know who they are. No, they're a real, legitimate presence. And I think that's a thing that business owners today need more than ever, because trust is being reduced in our society because of all these things that we see, people stealing identities and all this online this and that. TV has an unbelievable ability to make me believe that you're a part of my community and you're a legitimate higher end business that is someone I can do business with.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. I mean, the trust, the credibility, and it makes all your other media, everything else you do work so much harder.
Work harder, it sure does.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because now I'm seeing it in multiple places, including the most premium of all, on TV.
Gerry, thank you so much for the time. I think it was a great speech. We heard everybody talk. Tim, having you on hand and the Colonel team on hand and our account executives here, I think everybody can see that this is something that does exactly what Spectrum Reach is all about, which is helping small businesses grow.